Hello, and welcome to the Bloom Personal Growth and Development channel. I want to take the next few minutes to talk about a sentiment that, while it might sound like something you would find on a greeting card, actually holds a profound psychological truth. It is the idea that you are stronger than you seem, braver than you believe, and smarter than you think. We live in a world that is constantly showing us what we lack. If you scroll through social media for 5 minutes, you are bombarded with images of people who seem to have it all figured out. They look stronger, they act braver, and they appear smarter. It is very easy to look at that curated reality and feel small in comparison. We start to internalize a narrative that we are somehow less than. We convince ourselves that we are barely holding it together, that we are timid, or that we are just winging it and hoping no one notices we do not know the answers. But I want to challenge that perspective today. Let's break this down, starting with strength. When we think of strength, we often think of the extremes. We think of the athlete lifting a record weight, or the hero saving someone from a burning building. But real strength is often quiet. It is the ability to keep moving forward when you want to stop. It is the strength required to get up, get dressed, and go to a job that drains you, simply because you have responsibilities. You are stronger than you seem because strength is not about never feeling weak. It is about feeling weak and taking the next step anyway. Think about the hardest thing you have ever gone through. Maybe it was a breakup, a loss, a financial crisis, or a health scare. You are here, right now, listening to this. You survived it. You absorbed the impact, and you kept going. That is a reserve of power that you don't give yourself credit for daily. Next, let's talk about bravery. We tend to define bravery as the absence of fear. We look at people who take big risks and think, I wish I weren't afraid like them. But here is the secret. They are afraid too. You are braver than you believe, because bravery isn't about not being scared. It is about being scared and doing it anyway. Every time you have had a difficult conversation, every time you have advocated for yourself, or every time you have tried something new despite the risk of failure, you are being brave. We tend to discount our own bravery because we feel the fear while we are doing the brave thing. We think, I'm shaking, so I must be a coward. No, the shaking proves you are brave. If you weren't scared, it wouldn't be bravery, it would just be an activity. You have faced the unknown countless times in your life, and you have navigated it. That requires courage. Finally, let's address intelligence. Smarter than you think. This is a big one. Many of us suffer from imposter syndrome. We sit in meetings or walk into classrooms and think, I am the least qualified person here. We confuse encyclopedic knowledge with intelligence. You might not know the capital of every country, or how to solve complex calculus equations, but that is not the only measure of being smart. Intelligence is adaptability. It is resourcefulness. It is emotional intelligence. Think about how many problems you solve in a single week. The logistical nightmares of scheduling, the budgeting required to make ends meet, and the way you read a room and adjust your communication style to keep the peace. That is high-level processing. You are smarter than you think because you have a lifetime of data and experience that helps you make decisions, often faster than your conscious mind can catch up with. We often call this intuition, but it is actually just your brain rapidly processing patterns it has learned over the years. You figure things out. You always have. When a problem arises, you don't just stare at a wall forever. You find a workaround, you ask for help, or you learn a new skill. That is intelligence. So why does this matter? Why am I spending time telling you this? Because how you view yourself dictates how you act. If you believe you are weak, you will avoid challenges. If you believe you are cowardly, you will stay in your comfort zone. If you believe you are not smart enough, you will never speak up with your great ideas. You need to rewrite that internal script. The next time you feel overwhelmed, I want you to pause and look at the evidence. Not the feeling, but the evidence. The evidence says you have handled 100% of the obstacles life has placed in front of you. The evidence says you have faced fears and walked through them. The evidence says you have learned and adapted to survive. You are not a finished product, you are a growing force. Do not let a bad day or a moment of doubt erase years of proof. You have a reservoir of capability that runs deep. Trust that. Lean into that. Because truly, you are stronger than you seem, braver than you believe, and smarter than you think. Thank you for watching. Remember to hit that notification bell to like this video. If you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel, and always bloom.